They don't know me, son!
What's up, Lockheads? Chris here. We're outside today, gonna do a little bit of work on the truck. Unfortunately, I think I got a bad wheel bearing on this front hub assembly. All right, it's gotten to the point to where it's starting to wear out my tread unevenly here on the front tire. And I also hear like a humming vibration noise when I turn the wheel to the left. All right, so all signs are telling me bad wheel bearing, or at least that's what YouTube and Google and my trusted mechanic friends tell me. All right, so we're gonna go ahead, get the old one off, put the new one on. Doesn't seem to be too difficult of a job, so we'll get into it, see what we can do, and let's get to it. All right, so first thing we gotta do, get the lug nuts loosened up. Take this little cover off here. All we're trying to do is loosen up the lug nuts right now. Shouldn't be too tough because I just rotated the tires not long ago. All right, got them all loose. Now we got to get it jacked up. All right, we're in. All right, so we got the wheel off. Now we just got to get the brake caliper and the whole frame arm removed so we can get the rotor removed as well. All right, so what I'm gonna do is show you the bolts that we're gonna remove. It's gonna be this guy here, 13 millimeter. This guy here with a 13 millimeter. That's gonna remove the brake caliper. But then you got these big guys right there. I don't know what they are actually. I'll have to look at them, but it's that big one there, and then there's another one here too. So 4 bolts. I'm gonna start with the 2 small ones there, the 13 millimeter, and then once I get that socket size, I'll let you know what it is. But it's just those 4 bolts to remove this whole entire assembly, right? So I'll get the camera set up and we'll do that right now. Probably should bungee tie this up or something, but I'm just gonna set it up on the frame so it's kind of supporting its own weight. All right, of course I don't have any bungee, so what I'm gonna try to do is just use a little jack stand to help support the weight of the caliper. But you don't want that thing to fall down and snap the brake line. You'll be in real trouble then. Or at least we'll be in more work than we want to do, so. I know that's not the best, but it's gonna have to do. All right, so let's see if we can get these 2 big bolts off. Like I said, it's kind of in a weird position, so it's hard to get some leverage. I'll see if I can hit it with a hammer. All right, that actually works. See if I can do the same with the top here. Like a charm. Just gotta loosen up the bolts the rest of the way by hand, and then we should be able to remove this whole brake assembly and pull the rotor off too. All right, there we go. Boom, we're home free. So there's the brake pads removed, brake caliper is also off. Should just be able to pull the actual rotor off with no issue, hopefully. Need a little help from the hammer. All right, now we're in there. Next thing we gotta do is remove this little dust cap. This guy here. There should be a little bolt in there we gotta loosen up. There it is. Good deal. Get that out of the way, make sure we don't lose it. All right, so this guy here, I don't know what that is actually. Let's try 13 millimeter. Boom, there it is. So it's the same size as the brake caliper. That's a good deal. 13 millimeter. Since it's on the wheel, you're probably gonna have to use a pry bar to keep it from moving. There we go. Jeez Louise. Get a bigger socket too. Don't be a jackass like me and use this little rinky-dink thing. But it just happened to be the closest one sitting in the garage. And I didn't feel like digging for a bigger one. But do as I say, not as I do. All right, so it's just that there. 4 bolts in the back we got to remove now. Let's get in there, see if we can get these 4 bolts off. There's 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom. Shouldn't be too bad to get to. We'll just see how tight they are. Hopefully they'll cooperate. It won't be too buried in there. See if I can get some good leverage. I'm kind of in a weird spot here. Nope. A little help from the hammer. Bottom bolt's being a pain in the ass. Need more leverage on it. Yeah, it's that easy. Get a little bit of extra leverage on it. That extra foot of pipe right there did the job. Or the hammer loosened it, one or the other. Alright. That should be all 4 bolts. Alright. Let's see what you got here. Let's see what we're working with. So, the 4 bolts we were dealing with here, I want to show you. It's going to be this guy here. Another one down here. And then on the other side, it looks identical. Alright, so one here. Another one here. Whoop, there we go. So those 4 bolts, you can see they're loose. Now what I got to do is follow the ABS line. All right, all the way up. It's going to take us up into the frame. There's a couple of loops back there, and then it winds up right here. You can see this little clip. I'm not going to be able to separate it with one hand in the camera, so I'm just going to remove this clip, pull it out, and then feed that wire all the way back through, and it comes off as one piece, right? So I know that sounded kind of confusing, but I'll show you the new one so you can get an idea of what it looks like. All right, so this is the new one, just so you see what I was talking about. This whole little wiring harness, it comes with it, so we'll have to unsnap it from the top, feed it back through like I showed you, pull the old piece off and put the new one on. All right, start removing this wiring harness. A couple of plastic clips in there are gonna have to gouge out, but they give you new ones in the package, so you don't have to worry about saving them. There it is. All right, a little harder than it should have been to get the clips off for the wiring harness, but as you can see, we got it disconnected. The bolts are removed. Usually they're not just gonna come loose the easy way. You're probably gonna have to take a hammer and lightly force its way out. Well, maybe light wasn't the word, but there it is. All right, let's go ahead and fit the new one on. The wiring harness was facing up, or believe, yes. So make sure that's the way you put it back on. Alright, there it is. Let's go ahead and tighten up these 4 bolts. Alright, tighten up the last bolt. Yeah, that was it the whole time. That's simple enough. So there. Flip it back in. Boom. Alright, let's go ahead and put the rotor on. Boom. Now we can put the brakes on. There you go, baby. Alright, brakes are on. Put our caliper back on, which she's just hanging right here. Should be easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Give it a little light tap, maybe. There we go. There it is. All right, let's put these guys back in here. We're getting close to the finish line. There you go, boy. Here. Well, the good thing is we don't have any parts left over. Put our cover back on. That's how you replace wheel bearing assembly. Ford F-150. Chris motherfucking Locks.